So the next question was, what are my favorite games of all time? That is a particularly difficult question. I'm gonna have to, like, go through a good chunk of my gaming history for that. And to start, I was always kind of a big gamer as a kid. The first console I ever had was the original Sega Genesis when my uncle gave it to me. Loved that console, and every game I ever played on it. But none more so than the original Sonic titles. For obvious reasons. I mean, those games are just good. They're still good. Though the original has definitely shown its age. A lot of the games that gripped me most as a kid didn't come until much later. Picking favorites is something that's always been hard for me. The ones that are most significant to me and my growth as a person, though, I can definitely get into. And that list begins with, well, Sonic Adventure 2, unsurprisingly. Sonic Adventure 2, as I've stated a few times on the channel before, was the game that got me to realize what storytelling in a game could be. It showed me a world of writing that I had not considered at that age. And it left a very profound impact on me. It's what got me started as a writer. I started with fanfiction, and as many of you know, I never really stopped. But of course, eventually, as my writing improved, I came to realize I had enough original ideas to branch out and start writing a full novel. So I did. Anyone who's been watching my channel has surely seen the ads that I have go up in the middle of every video and at the end of every video for my book. Obviously, sales on that have been slow because it's privately published. But I'm not giving up anytime soon. In fact, with some major projects in development right now, I think I might be getting the boost in viewers that I need to really get that somewhere. To make the advertisements for my book stand out to enough people. Another game that was very foundational for me when it comes to how I approach gaming is definitely Diablo 2. I played the hell out of Diablo 2. It's still a good game. So yeah, Diablo 2 really changed my approach to gaming as a kid. It really informed me on how to approach gaming. Because I had an absolute blast with that game. I tried every class. Ones I had the most fun with were Sorceress and Druid. First one I ended up beating the whole game with was Druid, actually. Because Druid was a very interesting class in that game. Very versatile, and a lot of different ways you could approach it. And that's what really got me hooked to it. So after that, with all of the gameplay I've done of it, you can probably guess that another big game for me is obviously Terraria. For many good reasons. Terraria is an incredibly versatile game that you can just do so much with, and as a very creative individual, I've definitely put a lot of work into my creative building on that game, as seen in one of the earliest playthroughs on my channel. I've probably done a couple dozen different playthroughs on it. I've done it with and without mods. I've built a ton of different cities for every biome in the game, and most available modded biomes. So yeah, obviously my experience with the game is quite vast. And that's definitely not changing anytime soon. Because with the latest update to Terraria dropping, I do have some plans with it. I'm trying to get some people on board for something special. So a little something for you guys to look forward to when I start slowing down on this game, whenever I get through all of the content in this version of it. Even though they're updating rather quickly, eventually I'm going to catch up with the content, and this will be largely on hold until after they drop a major update that ends up being a huge upset, and that's probably going to include world generation changes that'll have me starting from scratch anyway. So then we have Hollow Knight and Silk Song. Yeah, I don't think I really need to explain those games at all. I played both of them for my channel. I absolutely loved them both. Basically everybody who's ever played them and has an appreciation for difficult games loves them. The soundtrack, the character designs, the world building, the general aesthetic of the entire game, and the impeccable difficulty balancing where, yes, it is very challenging, but they make sure that that challenge never feels like losing is the game's fault. It always feels like it's just a skill issue, and you can't even... It's hard to be too mad about it, because it's just so well made. You know it's possible, you know it was designed to be like this. And if you persevere and push through, who knows what you'll be capable of. Ooh, Sandstone gives me a lot of interesting options here, including Wind Temple materials. Hell, don't mind if... The Pokemon series has always been rather important to me. As I stated before, I started the series with the original Red, Blue, and Yellow on Game Boy Color. Starting with those, I never really stopped. I kept up with the series through its entirety. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed every minute of the series since the start. It's definitely had its ups and downs, but I think the ones that stood out most to me were most definitely Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and especially Platinum. I first received those games during a dark time in my life. The drunken wretch of a stepfather I mentioned before was a large part of my life at the time, as was my narcissistic mother. I had basically no life. The life I did have was those I experienced... Well, life I did have was what I experienced vicariously through games. And the most important to me at the time was most definitely Platinum version. My boy Hockey, the Railu that you've seen me use, the Railu and Lucario you've seen me use in basically every Pokemon game I've played for the channel. That's where I started with him. Platinum version. Oh, actually, I got my first version of him on Diamond. But I got him rather late into the game and didn't get to use him properly at the time. I got the best out of him with Platinum. I learned about Nuzlocke at the time. I started doing one. I had Hockey on my team. The reason he ended up with that big scar on his face, and he lost his left eye, was because during that Nuzlocke, a Sneasel nearly took his eye out. His accuracy had been heavily reduced in that fight, and he ended up taking a crit that nearly killed him. The only reason he survived was because he was so precious to me that I made sure to have a focus sash on him. Giving him that focus sash was definitely the right move. He would not have survived otherwise. And the most important Pokemon in my life would have died right there. But he's persisted. That little dude refuses to stay down. I guess he's staying down now since I've officially retired him. But hey, his daughter Ayumi... Yeah, Ayumi is definitely doing a good job in his place so far. I don't regret retiring Aki. He had a good run. Best I could have asked for. So yeah, Platinum will always be a very important game to me. I lost track of how many hours I spent mining in that game. Desperately wish the mining minigame would come back in an official capacity in something better than Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because that remake was a huge disappointment, and the mining minigame was ruined by the statue system. Those things are fucking ridiculous. They shouldn't exist. Took away a huge part of the mystique of mining and just turned it into farming for the most inane bullshit. Yeah, I think those are solid enough answers to that question for now. It's hard for me to think of more on the spot right now. Maybe I should have thought it over more off camera when I got that question, but I've been generally busy lately. I only just finished a major speed paint that will be up well before this episode, because it's going to be premiering tomorrow as of me recording this. Yeah, using the roof blocks for this looks pretty fucking cool. I like it. Hey, if you're this far in the video, maybe consider leaving a like, a comment, and subscribing to the channel. And if you really want to help me out, consider following the link below to check out my book. I also do commissions, so feel free to contact me for that over any of my socials. Now, I'll let you get back to the video. That makes for a very interesting floor. Pleasing design, thin wood, functional, aesthetically pleasing, and secret compartment through the water under the house. Also, just trying to make sure that all of that water is directly under the house to help cool it. Thankfully, I got that mod that gives me glass. There we go. The glass floor over the river is now complete. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And now back to here. And water can flow through these iron bars. Just put those right there. Place that sapphire there. And I actually don't like these windows here. You can't see through them enough. They're better for a more decorative piece on an upper floor where you don't need as much visibility. They're too opaque. Oh no. Nope. Doesn't look like I can place a table on top of the glass. That sucks. Maybe there's another transparent block I could use that would give a view of the river down there. Well, I guess it's not much of a river, it's more of a stream. Still, I want to have a view of it. Okay, that'll do. You can still see most of it. It's still a good view. It's kind of split evenly on the two sides, which looks kind of nice. Okay, closer to what I expected. Now let's try this. And break them and see if it maintains that flow. And it does. And now we have a lovely waterfall feature on the first floor of the house. And acting as the source for this river. On both sides of this rock. Hey, first floor of my desert shelter is looking pretty good. Just gotta get the second floor done now. Since we're so close to the Farrens and away from the more arid, murky areas of the region, we're pretty far from where the flying bugs tend to spawn, so I should be pretty safe making the second floor this little more open air. Now this is nice. Really improved the view by expanding the river. Nice open air second floor, well lit. Water fixture flowing through the home, which is great for an arid region. Put right over top the river. Just gonna add a little support beam there in the middle. Both sides. Now that's perfect. All I need now is to make a little bridge here and it's all good. But I'm running out of recording time here, so I'll have to save the bridge for next time. Oh, Raldo. This is nice. Just gonna put some of these here real quick to add a little extra definition and color to that. Add some on the outer corners here. And that will most certainly do. Well, that seems a little bit wasteful, actually. I can get rid of every other one here. That'll probably make it look even better. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for watching, guys, and please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Envoy of Kairos for many more videos, ranging from gameplay to speed paints, my original Pokemon region, game concepts, and much more. And do try to remember the words of Kairos. Embrace every opportunity to better yourself and the world. You never know when a leap of faith will change your life for the better. See you again soon.